begin indeed. Hello people, Jerry speaking. Welcome to TheCrazyBunch's WebShow episode number 58. Today we're doing not 1, not 2, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 dev topics. Because right after this one, I'm gonna make an announcement on what's gonna be happening to the TheCrazyBunch's web show on what's gonna be happening in the next 2 weeks. So be look out for it. So anyway, again, there won't be a TheCrazyBunch's web show episode this week, but there will be one next week. So be look out for it. Anyway, let's do, because I'll be traveling next Saturday. Again, I'll be traveling to Buffalo, South Carolina. Because of this, I'll be getting prepared for just my vacation between my trip to the Cross Special Part 20, furries, something like that. We're in the furries now, to the Cross Special. Well, to the Cross Special Part furry. So we're almost done with the Trick Class Special's first movie, the serial movies. So what we're gonna do now is, oh yeah, I messaged from somebody. Hang on. That's from the Springcast. Okay, never mind. Okay, we're gonna do now is just take off one Saturday to get ready for a vacation break from South Carolina. And we'll be back next week, 2 weeks, to do TheCrazyBunch's web show all over again. So it's for episode 59. So be look out for that. And yeah, so let's do 13 dev topics right now. So we got, shall we? So we got. Anyway, John Clayton was an American sports journalist who is an National Football League, NFL for short, writer and reporter for ESPN. And he was also a senior writer for ESPN.com. He was born in 1954 in Broward, Pennsylvania. He began covering sports while still a student at Churchill Area High School, starting with the Pittsburgh Steelers 1972 training camp. Got a message from, oh my god, yeah. A lot of the timeline and stuff. But anyway, on to this bunch. Anyway. He covered the team in twice weekly dispatches, okay, in the St. Mary's, Pennsylvania Daily Press, okay. He wrote for Steel City Sports, okay, a weekly production in Pittsburgh. In 1975, Steel City Sports charged him to score Pittsburgh, and Clayton was a staff writer, okay, covering the Steelers, okay. He's also served as a stringer for a number of radio networks, including AP Radio and covering games. Okay, providing the networks with sound clips with locker room interviews after games involving Pittsburgh professional sport teams. Okay, he graduated from Detroit University in 1976. Okay, and later worked for Pittsburgh Press. He later done part-time work for the paper while attending college. Hang on, let me quit this. Hang on. One moment. Okay. Quit that. There we go. Okay. In May of 1978, Clayton was sent to the cover of a Steelers May camp and placed in this press regular Steelers-based best writer. Okay. Glenn Seeley, while they discovered a report a role violation will cost the team a draft pick. Wow, okay. The affair was dubbed Stargate by Clayton, okay, anyway. Clayton began personal dogwater for some time in his hometown for his role of the affair. Clayton eventually worked with his way up becoming the Steelers' best writer at the press before leaving the paper in 1986. He then moved on across the country and began covering the Seattle Seahawks, the News Tribune in Washington, okay? It was at the time that he began appearing in NFL segments on Seattle Sports Radio Network KWKR AM and host Nancy Nelson's program, The Valley Sports Babe. Okay? When Nelson's show was picked up by ESPN for national syndication, Clayton's came on as an NFL correspondent. Okay? In 1995 in ESPN, Clayton joined ESPN as a reporter. Okay? Wow. And later added in studios as a radio show during the NFL off-screen. Wow. Okay. Off-season, excuse me. Misspoke anyway. He hosted a show with former NFL quarterback Sean Salisbury. The show included 4 downs, a debate with Salisbury over current NFL issues. The debate often became quite heated, with Salisbury referring to Clayton's as a Christ keeper, Mr. Peabody, Marcus geeky and egghead appearance and voice. And Clayton responded by Salisbury, Mr. Backup, based on his limited playing time during his NFL career. This debate, as to seriousness, as adversity to between Clayton and Salisbury. He was laid off from ESPN on May 31st, 2017. His radio programs remained in the front Australia, to KJR AM, okay, and hosted a Sports Saturday show on Saturday mornings. He was a regular caller to sports talk radio stations around the country. Because of his transition to all sports at KIRL AM Seattle, Clay moved the show to new ESPN station. Wow. He has also committed to 104.3's The Fans website and radio station Denver. Wow. He was also a weekly guest in the Myers 190 AM, 1090, anyway. 1090 AM, anyway. Kept as a crew show in San Diego. Wow. Awards and honors. He was. Oh, hang on, I misspoke. Anyway, I have to close this up. Hang on. There we go. Quit. There we go. He remained a favorite guest. Okay. He received the Dick McCain's Memorial Award for the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2007. The decision puts him in the writer's wing in the Hall of Fame. He was also inducted to the Sports Hall of Fame in the Alma District University in 2001. He died in Washington State yesterday. He was 67 years old during a brief illness. My next death topic has to do with Bobby Weinstein, okay? He was best known as Robert Weinstein, okay? He was an American songwriter, singer, and music industry executive, who hit songs mostly co-written with Frate Razazio. You couldn't go into my head. It's going to take a miracle. And on my outside looking in. He was born and grew up in New York City on July 16th, 1939. Same year as Wizard of Oz came out. Anyway, and attended school of Indian Arts in Manhattan. While there, he formed a vocal group, The Legends, with folk students Marshall Staples, Ron Worrell, Richard Kiko Boston, Samson Rees, and Dominic Fears, okay? The group was on the talent contest in Apollo Theater in 1955, okay? Recorded for the Small Mama and Hall labels before splitting up. Weinstein's song, Legend of Love, was one of those records recorded by the group, okay? In 1957, he began writing songs with Teddy Rosadile, with a song with another vocal group, the Free Chuckles, okay? With the first major hit as co-writers was Pretty Blue Eyes, recorded by Steve Rollins and produced by Don Costa, which reached number 9 on the pop charts, which started in 1960. Working at Costa's production company, Washington Ricardo, excuse me, I spoke anyway, has some of the biggest successes comeback hits from Lil Andy and the Pios in 1964 and 1965. I'm on the outside looking in, and it got in my head, hurt so bad. Last of which, it's also co-written with Bobby Hart, okay? YC and Rosario, Randazzo, have announced his last name, excuse me. And that hit in 1965. It's going to take a miracle by the Wallettes have announced it, excuse me. Although he mostly written for, with Randazzo, YC was both worked and produced, performed with Hart and his regular contributor, Tommy Boyce. During the 1960s, he sang with Boyce, Hart, and Kenny Reagan, and others, and rest of his virtual band, performing regular engagements in Las Vegas and elsewhere. His songs have been recorded by such musicians as the Box Tops, Donnie Warwick, Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, Ella Fitzgerald, when Ron Stout have announced her last name, excuse me, and Frank Sinatra. He occasionally used the right phenomenon, Robert Wilding. Let me quit this up real quick, okay? Got it. Anyway, Weinstein later became an executive, okay, with the Performing Rights Organization Broadcast Music Incorporated, okay? BMI for short. He's also served for 24 years on the board of the National Academy of Popular Music, MAPBM for short, excuse me, anyway. Responsible for the Songwriters Hall of Fame, becoming its president between 1993 and 1999. He was inducted in the Hall of Fame with Randazzo in 2007. He died on March 16th, 2022, which is last Wednesday. He was 82 years old. Now, my next death topic has to appear Bowles. Now, he's been in a lot of films, okay? He has been an English stage and television actor. He's been in a lot of films lately. He's been in a lot of stuff that he's been on until his retirement in 2021. But, you know, that's just me. He was born in Barton, England, the son of Hubert Ryden Bowles. He was on October 16th, 1946. Okay. Violent compassion and closure to Drago Mayo, have announced his last name, sorry. Son of Earl of Sandwich, then by the daughter Lord Byron Book, okay? And Sarah Jane Harrison from Scotland, wow. Okay? Who serves as nanny to the family of Duke of I haven't announced this word, sorry. Before coming to England, okay, let me just close this up, okay? Again. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna keep closing things up. This is ridiculous. Anyway, okay. And working with the Borough Brooks family, okay, which is where they met. In October of 1939, the family lived in Bradbury, Norfolk. I can't pronounce the city's name, sorry. Moving to Nottingham a few months later. In Nottingham, they live in the Haven Screen area. He attended Brendan Wall Junior and High Pius Grammar School. Wow. Bowles married Susan Barnett in April 8th, 1961. Co-lived with Bame, Southwest London. He had 3 children there, Guy, Adam, and Sasha. And a lot of I don't know what happened to these grandchildren. He did a lot of films. But at I, Claudius in 1976. It's a miniseries. So, he did a great job. So, there you go. He did 2 books, okay? Autobiography in 2010. Ask Me If I'm Happy. And Behind the Curtain, the job is at the 2012. I'm not going to read all of that, so there you go. He died on St. Patty's Day for cancer. He was 85 years old. My next death topic has to do with Mary D, okay? And who is Mary D, you may ask? She was known as Mary Francine Dorham. She was an American photographist and television journalist, okay? D was best known for her work in Chicago, Illinois, television station and national cable station WGN-TV, Channel 9, and as an anchor reporter until 1972, from 1972 until 1983, and director of community relations from 1983 until 2008. D served as the president and member of the Leadership Council in Illinois chapter of the American Association of Retired Persons, AARP for short, from 2009 until her death in 2022. Wow. Makes more sense. Anyway, she was born in Chicago to John Bollihan, a postal worker, and Ethel Dorham. Her mother went to a labor during a trip to Chicago with her husband, and they went back to and forth to between Chicago and New Orleans due to work. Wow. Okay. The son of, D was raised in New Orleans after her mother's death in 1939. Wow. When D was 2. D's father were remarried 4 years later after her mother's death. And her stepmother refused her and later sent her to an orphanage. Wow. And when D was sent, decided to describe as an interview with commentary black biography about growing up with her stepmother. I was terribly abused by her. She was actually adopted me after Barnes' death, and changed my name so that my family could help me. It was horrible. And I felt worried for Dee at this point. Anyway, her stepmother changed her name, so family members would not contact her and refused to pay her education after the age of 14. Wow. Dee returned to Chicago as a teenager, and after Inglewood Technical Prep Academy, graduated in 1955. After high school, Dee moved to New Orleans to attend Xavier University, where she was a business administration major, okay? She eventually dropped out and took a job to support her siblings, and took a job as a salesperson with IBM. Dee landed her first job hosting a job at the radio station WBEE, a location located in Harvey, Illinois. During the first 2 years that followed, Dee quickly became a local celebrity in Chicago radio. In 1968, she began hosting an entertainment program that became broadcast on Ben Flag and independent station WCIU, Channel 26, on Saturday nights. In 1971, Dee became the host of Mary D Show, a local talk show on the independent station WSNS, Channel 44. Now it's Emmanuel, how you pronounce it? I don't speak Spanish, sorry. On an operation station, okay? After a year of recovering from her injuries to survive his 1971 attack, Dee returned from broadcasting in 1972, becoming a anchor for the independent station WGN-TV's 10 p.m. newscast. After spending 11 years at the WGN-TV and various on-air productions, Dee moved and off-air positions to the station directors, community development managers, WGN-TV's children's charities in 1984, where she remained until she retired from the station until the fall of 2008, helping raise $31 million in donations to the station, various charity, during the tenure. Dee subsequently joined the Mayor's Ambassador's Council on Women for the City of Chicago and became a member of the Quality Volunteer Executive Council of the Illinois chapter of AARP, before being appointed by AARP state president a year later. Wow. Charity working colleagues, how to pronounce this word, sorry. In addition to her television and radio work, Dee has also served as a in the various Quality, Kappa C, something else's name, sorry, of several charities and organizations. Okay, D drive is country's first after victims Bill of Rights in 1992. Excuse me. Anyway, which is passed by Illinois State legislature. Okay, and serves as a model of other states to pass their own victims' right regulations. She founded a Chicago-based program, Athletes with a Better Education. Okay, D has also served as a television host for United Network's Chicago College Fund. Okay, even as stars fundraiser for over 2 decades. Okay, and also hosted Telethon's Belfast Easter Seals. These also developed the Walk-Wayne Child, okay? Non-station air segment broadcasting WGN TV, spotlighting children in this child placement system in the needs of adoptive homes, okay? And it has earned the several awards, okay? Including been honored with the Adoption Executive Award for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services in 2004. Then Illinois Governor Jim Egger gave D and WGN TV a commendation in 1998 for helping to increase the number of adoptions in the state of more than 60%, okay? In 2000, she was on the honorary doctorate of human nations, okay, by Lewis University. The following year, D won the Academy of Television Arts and Science Silver Circle Award. The University of Illinois Center of Woman Gender have also honored D with the Lifetime Achievement Award in 2003. And in 2004, she was honored the President's Award for the United National College Fund. D has also served as an executive board member for the Ronald McDonald Office Charities, Junior Executive Achievement Worldwide, and the Associated College of Illinois, board members of the National College Summit, and a member of the Illinois State Attorney Council of Violence. Wow. In January 2011, D became one of the 6 inductees into the National Association of Black Journalists Hall of Fame. Wow. Okay. Personal life. D married twice and had 2 children. D's first marriage occurred during the late teenage years and produced a daughter, Toya Manet. Okay? D was married to her second husband, Nicholas Bob, from 1999 until her death until 2022. Okay? In addition to her daughter, D has also adopted son, a Dominic Richard H. Wright. Okay? 1971 attack. In July 7th, 1971, D and the guests on their show, American psychic Alexander was kidnapped and then shot, but when it was resulting in Sandra's death, okay? Upon return to WSNS TV studios and grabbing dinner, D and Sandra was supported by 21-year-old Samuel Drew while sitting in D's car. Wow. Drew was then made D drive to remote area where he was shot both D and Sandra twice in the back with the hands and the point blank range. I felt worried for D. Jeez. Anyway, then dumping them out in the car and driving off. Then D managed the car on the highway where she was rescued and taken to the hospital. Being treated for the wounds. Doctors did not expect D to survive the wounds, and twice they were given her last rites, including one by personal friend, Reverend Jesse Jackson. Wow. Okay. Small. Oh, let me just open this up. Okay, let me just close it. Never mind. Okay, never mind. Anyway, small because it was only because my faith, because I believe that it was supposed to be here. Okay. D said to win the Cindy Live in 2013. Talk about the horrible order. I'm supposed to be here, okay? The gentleman who was with me did not live. And here I am. Samuel Drew was later committed for the attack. Dee's near-death experience inspired her to become an author for victims of gun violence. One person that really did not make a difference. I was so angry when he received a 120-year sentence. Wow. After 12 years he went to get out of jail, said D. I thought, well, I'm just not giving a stand for this. D. Love say politicians. Wow. Okay. Humanity helping with the passage of Illinois' first Victims' Bill of Rights law, which was used in the bottom for other states. She died, on the day before St. Patty's Day. She was 85 years old. My next death topic has to do with Barbara Morrison. I have to talk about this. Anyway, she was a jazz singer. I'm not going to talk about anything discography, but I'm going to talk about her biography. She was born in, I can't pronounce his name, in Michigan. It was on September 10th, 1949, and raised in Monmouth, Michigan, okay? She recorded her first appearance for radio to Detroit at the age of 10, and in 1973, she moved to Los Angeles at the age of 23, and sang with Eddie Creedhead Vinton's band. Between the mid-1970s and the early 90s, but anyway, she recorded several albums with Johnny Aldrich. In '86, Morris toured with the Philip Morris Super Band. Wow. Combining a 40-city, 1-month tour of Canada, Australia, Japan, and the Philippines. Playing with jazz organist Jimmy Smith, okay? Back by saxophonist James Moody. Guitarist Kenny Boris, trumpeters John Gabis and John Forrest is his trumpeter. Never mind. And Dre K on drums. Morrison has also completed a 33-city tour in the United States and all-star tribute to composer who is from the Wizard of Oz 1949 movie, Howard Arden. In 1995, Morrison appeared as a television tribute to Ella Fitzgerald, okay, with Mel Fong, which I have to talk about in a little bit, okay, Ella Fitzgerald, okay, I mean, do I talk about this a little bit? Oh, yeah, I did, never mind. Yeah, it was already there, never mind, I just want to make sure, okay. I explained more about Ellen Fitzgerald. Okay, never mind. Want to make sure? Never mind. Okay, I want to make sure. Anyway, I messed it up. In '95, Morrison appeared at the television tribute to Ellen Fitzgerald with Mel Form, Donnie Weaves, Stevie Wonder, Chaka Khan, Tony Bennett, who is now retired now, Dorothy Warwick, and Louis Wallace, okay? She worked with Gerald Wilson, Dizzy Gillespie, have announced his last name, sorry, his or her, I don't know. Ray Charles, Ron Carter, Ed James, Esther Phillips, David T. Walker, Dr. John, who now died. Anyway, Kenny Burrow, Terrence Blackard, Joe Sample, Jared Walton, Nancy Wilson, Joe Williams, who is now retired now again, Tony Bennett, Ken Mello, Cal Bassist Orchestra, Clayton Hamilton Orchestra, and Doc Silverdanson, having announced his last name. Sorry. Anyway, she performed at the Box Drake's Jazz Festival. Nice Pearl, I'm pronouncing the word, sorry. Curry Hall, North Sea, Darling Harbor, Sydney Orchestra Opera House, Monterey, Long Beach, and a tribute to Dizzy Gillespie and Benny Golson. And in 2011, Morrison began performing with Jack Hale a guitarist, arranger, and band leader. In early March 2022, excuse me, anyway, she was hospitalized for combination disease. She died the day before St. Patty's Day. She was 32 years old. My next death topic has to do with Ralph Terry. He was a right-handed starting pitcher, okay? He goes by the name of Ralph Richard Terry, okay? Who played 12 seasons in the Major League Baseball, MLB for short. If you watch this, David, it's for you. Anyway, he played for New York Yankees, which bits and pieces. Anyway, Kansas City Athletes, okay? Cleveland Indians and New York Mets from 1956 until 1967. He was a member of the Yankees pitching rotation of 5 Canadian Leagues champion from 1960 to 1964. It joined his best season in 1962 when he was named for only All-Star team, going for the lead in the American League with only 23 victories. In the 1962 World Series, he was named for the most valuable player after posting wins in 2 of the last 3 games, including a 1-0 shutout in the WNBA Game 7, okay? He was also notable for surrounding a walk-up home run, okay? The Bill Masterossi, okay? That won the 1960 World Series for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Terry also played for the Kansas City Athletes, Cleveland Indians, and New York Mets. He later enjoyed a successful career as a professional golfer. Wow. Okay. He was born in Big Carbon, Oklahoma. Okay. I almost said California, but it's Oklahoma. But anyway, on January 9th, 1936, his father, Frank William, was employed at the East Oklahoma Hospital, served with the U.S. Navy during World War II. His mother was Lancia Adams, okay? Terry attended Chelsea High School in nearby Chelsea, okay? Where he played Girlland and based basketball. Wow. He graduated in this class in 1953. He then studied Missouri State University and University of Kansas City. He was signed as Arbor free agent by the New York Yankees on November 19th, 1953. And I'm going to just read too much, but I'm not going to read much about his base. I'm just going to say... Anyway, how much more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 more after this. Anyway, baseball career, okay? He was best known as the Independence Indians in 1953, okay? He was playing for the Independent Indians from the Van Johnson League in 1953. And the home field of the Independent Indians was Sarbanes Stadium in Independence, Kansas, okay? The stadium was the same venue in which Mickey Mantle started his career with the Independent Yankees in 1949, okay? The New York Yankees in 1956 to 1957. Terry played 2 seasons in the minor leagues from 1954 to 1956, okay? He made the MLB debut on August 6, 1956, okay? At the age of 20. Pitching 5 and 2/3 innings, striking out 4, and being a winning pitcher in the 4-3 win over, okay? The Boston Red Sox. If you watch this, David, it's for you. Anyway, it barely posted a 1-2 win-loss record, and the 9.45 earned run average ERA for short. Okay, 3 starts in his whole first MLB season. Okay, the following year he appeared in 7 games. Okay, making 2 starts. Okay, before being traded to Kansas City Athletes on June 15th. 1957-1959 Kansas City Athletes. Terry finished the 1957 season with a 4-11 record, 3.38 ERA in 19 starts for the Athletes. he rebounded somewhat the next season, going 11-13 with a 4.24 ERA and 144 strikeouts, second a new career high in the 40 games, including 33 starts. In 1959, he started 2.4 with a 5.24 earning run average ERA for short in 9 games. Wow, okay. On May 26th of that year, he was traded to the New York Yankees along with the Hector Lopez, returning to New York and stardom, okay, 1959 to 1964, okay. Upon his return, okay, Terry went 3-7 with a 3.39 ERA in 24 games, including 16 starts, okay. His career began to take off in 1960, when he posted a 10.8 record, 3.4 ERA. That year, he made his first postseason appearance in 2 games of the 1960s World Series. Okay, it was 0-2 with the 5.4 ERA in 2 games, 1 start and 1 relief appearance. He gave up Bill Mazeroski's walk-up home in Game 7. Wow. Okay, so I have reading to do. In 1961, Terry posted 16-3 record with 3.15 ERA 31 games, 27 starts. During the 1961 World Series, he was 0-1 with a 4.82 ERA in 2 starts, but won his first championship when the Yankees defeated the Cincinnati Reds in 5 games. From 1962, Terry went 23-12 the 19 ERA. That year, he posted career beats of 23 wins, 49 starts, 249 2-4. Is it 2-3? Yeah, 2-3. Anyway, in pitch, okay, and 176 strikeouts against 57 walks. Okay, his 23 victories lead the American League in the 1962 World Series. He went 2-1 with a 1.8 ERA and 16 strikeouts. Okay, and 25 innings over the 3 games. Okay, against the San Francisco Giants. Okay, and performance that earned him the World Series MLB MVP. Award that season. Wow. Okay. The next year, Terry was 17-15 with a 3.22 era ERA for short in 37 games, including career high 18 complete games. He pitched 3 innings in the 1963 World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers, finished with a 3.00 ERA, and the Yankees went sweeping in 4 games. I'll read one more line of this, and I'll be right there with you. Anyway, in 1964, Terry went 7-11 with a 4.54 ERA in the World Series that year against the Cardinals. He gave up 2 hits and struck out in 3 batters, okay? And the Yankees lost. Wow, okay? On October 21st, Terry was traded to Cleveland Indians, wow. And as a player to be named Pedro Ramos. Wow. Okay, I'll be right back. Back, folks. Sorry for the delay. I just got some water and get some Go-Gurt, and plus I was calling my dad, and I'll call him as soon as before I get ready for the 25. So there you go. Excuse me. Anywho, back to what I was doing with my dev topics, and we'll wrap things up. Anyway, Cleveland Indians, 1965. Okay, it was in his only season in Cleveland. Okay, Terry posted 11-6 mark. Okay, with a oh my god, 69. Okay, ERA in 30 games. Okay, and 26 starts. Okay, on April 6, 1996, he was traded to Kansas City Athletes. Okay, with John and Cash. Wow, I don't got you weaponized the Cash. Okay, that makes more sense. Anyway, returned to Athletes in 1966. Terry started 15 games the Athletes in 1966, for whom we went 1-5 for the 3.8 ERA. On August 6th, he contracted with purchase from the New York Mets. Wow. New York Mets, 1966 to 1967. Okay. With the Mets in 1966, Terry went 0-1. Oh my god. With the 4.74 ERA in 11 games. Okay. 6 the receiver. Okay. In 1967, Terry pitched in just 2 games and finished 1 before being released on May 16th. He was supposed to retire. Wow. Career overview. In his career, Terry had 257 games started and 20 shutouts, 11 saves, and 440 walks in the 1,849 and 1 Spurs innings pitch. Wow. In 5 World Series in 1960 to 1964, Terry posted a record of 2-3, 31 strikeouts, and 2.93 ERA in 9 appearances and 26 innings pitched. Both wins came in the 1962 World Series against the Giants, including 1-0 shutouts in the Game 7 and the Giants against, 8, Jack Sanford, okay? That game and busted series ended with Yankees second baseman Bobby Richardson and catching Willie McCovey's line drive, okay? Later life, after baseball, Terry became a professional golfer. He won 1980 Midwest PGA Championship based on his status in the PGA of America, okay? Scheduled championship. He qualified to play for the 4 PGA Tours events in 1981 and 1982, and 86 he started playing the senior PGA Tours. But he be best finished in the tie from the 10th and the 1989 Showdown Classic. He appeared in several Yankees Timers Day, most recently 2017. Terry lived in Lanford, Kansas, okay, where he was in insurance business for a number of years. In his retirement, he continued to play golf as a hobby. He died on last Wednesday as a long-term care casualty in Lanford. He was 86 years old and suffered a head injury and slipping on ice in the morning of New Year's Eve 2021. My next death topic has to do with Barbara Marshall Garson, okay? He was best known as Barbara Joan Meyer Garson, okay? He was an American vocal coach and singer. Wow, she was, excuse me. She has many model students including blonde singer Debbie Harry, Tara Mack, Justin Binion Blonde, Domina Gates, and Kathleen Hanna. She was born on February 10th, 1935 in Bombay, India. She was raised there. She was the daughter of Charles E. Mayer. She completed a BA in Deep Ball University, okay? And the master's degree in psychology at Columbia University. She worked briefly in biology before musicals, okay? She met her husband, Joshua Donald Garson, while singing covers. I can't pronounce this word. My eyes bother me. Anyway, singing with the Conference Gauge Ashworth of Riverdale. Wow. They married on July 27, 1963 at her parents' home in Boonville, Indiana. In August 1964, She goes to her husband were Cassidy February Opera in the Everett Star Playhouse. When she was 4, she began teaching the American Musical and Dramatic Academy. She died on on March 10th, 2022. She sustained a head injury after being pushed to the ground by a woman outside the apartment building in congested Manhattan. While she remained conscious in the appearance aftermath, was able to give information to police. Her health declined soon after. She was taken up to a hospital for surgery. It was found that she had suffered some brain damage. She died of injuries 5 days after the attack, last Tuesday. She was 87 years old. My next death topic has to do with Marion Malgian. I can't pronounce his last name. Anyway, she was known as Marion Malgian the Kelka, okay? Born 1948 till this year, okay? Last Monday, okay? She was an American interviewer, inventor, and longtime host of the Home Shopping Network. She was referred to the Queen of Makeovers, okay? She garnered segment media attention to the widow of Lee Malkin, okay? She and a business tycoon in Philadelphia was murdered in 1997 by a speed killer, Andrew Tyjon, okay? She was born in Payson, Czech, on October 18th, 1938. Okay, not to Paris. She was emerged in the United States during her early adulthood and was model dancer in Chicago. She was started a beauty company and boutique in 1963 in June and on Oak Street, okay, where she grew to become a cosmos empire, okay. She went on to event in her 36 factories and performance to prove Marion McGraw Comics. She was a host and home of Home Shopping Network for over 25 years. Wow. And her business worth disseminated for over $50 million. Wow. She served as the Chicago Mayor's Richard M. Daley, okay? Special Committee of Tourism, okay? As an officer of Chicago Commissions, okay? State of Illinois Board of Economic Development and on Board of Directors of John F. Kennedy Center of the Performing Arts. She was an associate of officials who are disfigured and burn survivors. She was a founding member of the University of Illinois Advisory Board of the Conventional Center, okay? In 1959, she married Lee Margron and was murdered on May 4th, 1997 by a spree killer, Andrew Garnon, okay? At the time of Margron's murder, the couple had been married for 38 years. Wow. They had 2 children. Maria, born in 1968, and the actor Duke Malgan, okay? Born in 1971. He remained 2 years after Lee's death in 1999, okay? Her second husband died only months after the wedding. Wow. The city of Chicago, designed Marion American Way after the already name of Oak Street's shopping district. She was a recipient of the Wiggle Warrenberg Award, the Best Sport Phase 4 Award, and in 1998, the city of Chicago proclaimed April 15th as Marion Malkin Day, okay? Pop culture. She was portrayed by Judith Light in the 2018 miniseries The Assassination of Julia Versailles, how to pronounce it, American Crime Story. Light got acclaim and nomination for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a limited series of movie for her performance. This, I'm talking about here, was a Hallmark Movies and Mystery series, or it may be FX. Never mind. Anyway, she died on March 14th, which is last Monday. She was 83 years old for the complications of her stroke. The next topic I want to talk about is Michael Corday. Okay, he was known as Michael John Corday, and he would have been 98 years this year. Well, actually, yeah, 98. Yeah, Wikipedia misspoke. Yeah, he did misspoke. 98. Okay, yeah, Wikipedia. Okay, 2014. Never mind. He was a reporter, business executive, and hydrologist. Born, I'm not gonna read monitoring electronics. I'm only gonna read his life and death. Okay, born monitoring Wisconsin in 1924. Okay, of March 24th. Okay, Cardi was the son of John Cardi, United States Administrator of Ireland, Poland, Belgium. His grandfather was Patrick Cardi, founder of Patrick Cardi Meat Company. Okay, on first. Oh, I just read Margaret Electronics. Never mind. Anyway. Thursday, August 2nd, 2007. WTMJAM Maltique reported that Cardi was one of several private inventors conversely purchased with Midwest Airlines. Wow. Maltique Electronics, along with Warren's cousins, he founded Maltique Electronics in 1965, served as chairman and CEO. The company went public in 1991 and started with only $15,000 in capital. The company went to have over $350 million in annual sales. Wow, okay. This company went to put together a nation's first central gyropathic, wow, okay, system at Northwestern University, okay, medical school, okay. This machine has been since become in hospitals throughout the United States, okay. The company was also known for having one of the first one-state daycare centers in the nation, In 1982, he and Warren bought the family patient monitoring business unit from GE, General Electric that is, known as General Electric Medical System Division, and combine it with the existing business primary diagnostics equipment, okay? In 98, okay? He sold Montique Electronics by the known by Montique Medical Systems to General Electric, okay? The company exists today as part of the Cardinal Systems Division, General Electric Healthcare, a subsidiary of the American Cardiac Military, okay? After stepping aside with this company, Kashi focused on injuries in the forestry and servants about more than the other companies. In 1999, okay, excuse me, anyway, 99, according to U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, CAC for short, filings, he invested $10 million in Corsari, massive Wisconsin biotechnology startup. He went to public in May 9, 2007 with the stock symbol TOMO. Mr. Carsey's 10% interest and valued more than $100 million. Wow, and percent price is September 2007. In 2002, he sold his story at the founding of Montique Electronics to his book, Joy Works. Wow. Carsey is still actively working to lead up to his 90th birthday in March 2014. He died on March 11, 2022. He is 97 years old. Would have been 98 next week. My next death topic has to do with Maureen Howard, okay? Better known as Maureen Teresa Howard. Born on my birthday, June 28th, 1930, and until March 13th, 2022, okay? Was American novelist, memoirist, and editor. Her award-winning novelist feature woman protagonists are known for formal variations and focus on Irish American experience. St. Patty's Day, that is, ladies and gentlemen. A native of Providence, Connecticut, okay? She was educated at Smith College. In her educational work, as an author, she has a career in media, teaching writers of literature as sexual associations, including Yale University and Columbus University. Howard's books is born to the role of family, okay? Class, the way of history, reforms, and dynasty, the experience of women in American society, and conservations in the lives of Irish Americans, okay? Among other awards, okay, makes more sense, and correlation in other lives of Irish Americans, okay? Among other awards, her work gathered the National Book Critics Circle Awards and 3 nominations at Penn Faulkner Award for fiction. Okay, she was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut, on June 28th, 1930. Okay, her father, William L. Kearns, okay, was an Irish immigrant who was working detective in Fairfield County. Okay, we have a son at Howard Oswald case. Her mother, Laura Nee Burns, was a homemaker and the daughter of an Irish immigrant who was established for fortune to land development on an asphalt plant. She credited her mother with exposing her to fine arts, and wanted her to lessons in ballet, piano, and coordinations. And a contrast experience with her father, because of his family coalition situation, Howard went to work in local public library at age 16. Education and marriage, okay? She attended Smith College, graduated in 1952. Howard was actually critical in the education in Smith, okay? Okay. That's what it was just at the time. Vet was still very much delivering a generous, gentle, and satisfied educational woman, okay? But she continued to connect with AIM Alma Mater. After graduating, she worked in advertising and then married Dale F. Howard in 1954. He was a professor at English at Williams College and Connecticut College before joining Wadsworth University in 1960. When he eventually became chair for English department, the couple had one child, a daughter. Howard's first marriage and divorce in 1957. She married David J. Gorin the following year. Okay. Like Howard's first husband, Gorin was a college professor. Okay. Her marriage of David J. Gorin ended divorce. In 1981, she married lawyer, stockbroker, and fellow novelist Mark Pauls. He died in 2018. Okay. Career. In 1960, Howard published her first novel. Now, we're about, okay? Not lines. Not nightingales, okay? Which showed family with, okay. And Leah would tell a story. The professor decides the validation family, job, and country while the summation in Italy, okay? The novel was first published in the United Kingdom before the American edition appeared in 1962. Did not attract the large readership, okay? And as a press critics in the New York Times. Martin Levin called it delicious and cool, okay? In later years, novel critics expressed admiration for it, okay? Among these were Doris Grimoire, the literary editor of New York New Republic, okay? Who said this novel convention improved its imagery with its parts, okay? The writing convention creation of multiple characters. Telling his New York Times in 1982. Antoine Beauregard says it was pleasantly full of his life and fine details, okay? His second novel, Birdshoy Boss, appeared in 1965. Short form was a series of journal entries, okay? It tells the story of Irish-American woman who escapes her hometown of Bridgeport, okay, from New York City, which reports an independent life. George's reviews praised it as filled with attractive, okay, abusive insights, associations with wicked humor. Writing New York Times, he praised Howard, Reverend praised Howard, okay, brave wit, abrasive style humor, okay. Like her first novel, it did not attract a large readership, okay. But over time, critics came to hold in high regard, okay. Remarking on in the Washington Post in 1982, excuse me, folks. Anyway, Gamarga called it one of the most funny novels of our time. While a decade later, the smaller critic Neil Paran, okay. Okay, I was gonna read something, but PBS NewsHour, okay. Makes more sense. Anyway, scholar and critic Neil Paran said it was solidly good, okay. In 2001, the critic John Renard, okay, limited that has been published a couple years too early. Wow. The benefit, the attention, the second wave feminism, despite being a feminist novel, The late 1960s, okay. Howard began a teaching career. Continuing in the 1970s, she taught literature, drama, and creative writing at, among others, the New School of Social Research, okay? University of California, Santa Barbara, and City University of New York, okay? By 1974, Howard's first novel, Before My Time, was published by critical acclaim. Writing in the New York Times, called Howard a extremely talented writer, okay? And the novel is a feature display of her sane, coordinate, simple, and exact prose, okay? Corey reviews was that was a real good book, okay? Written with both experience and feeling. She followed 1977, okay? With the book An American Woman writers that she edited, okay? The critic, Gary Davenport said it was her introduction in the book that was most indulgent treatment of women's literature that I have seen, expert that's ever seen. Her next book is a memoir, okay? Goes by the name of Facts of Life in 1978, which some scholars have regarded as among of her best work, okay? Rather than tell her life story, chronology, how to pronounce it, it was organized into sections by theme. Her initial reviews of the book but was mostly positive, okay? The novelist, Diane Johnson, write in the New York Times, praised by the excellence of her writing, okay? Even as she wished the best has been more native coherence, excuse me. Ryan Hudson review. He, Davenport, thought the book slightly uneven, okay? But not highly effective, okay? Now, of course, reviews call the book, accessible search for, the flawless, scurry of professionally and gracefully language. In the New Republic, Howard Krasson plays in a roughly personal story, okay? Told with, novelist skill. The book went on to win the National Book Critics Circle Award in 1978. During this period, Howard lectured at Brooklyn College as well as a new school for social research, excuse me. Can't read too long, but I have to read anyway. But anyway, Publishers History Weekly. Samuel Sandberg, okay? Sergei Howard's next novel, Grace Allenberg, in 1982, can be her breakthrough book. But the novel received mixed reviews, while Alan Long, writing in the New York Review of Books, praised it as gentler and more exciting than Howard's previous book. Bayard dismissing the New York Times as baffling near failure. Wow. Kerr's review also criticized it was a number of family life music that doesn't quite add up. Anyway, Nelson still receiving nominations of Penn, Failure, War for Fiction. And as did all his next two novels. Experience Habits, 1986, and National History, 1992. The latter was to take place in Howard's native Bridgeport, which he praised in Publisher Weekly as a question toward the force, okay? It's placed Howard's probably among that outstanding publishers in the late 20th century fiction. The author John Casey, writing in the New York Times, compared and read National History to watch a display of our barriers, okay? Ivory Marion, in comparing Wet Wheel, about that the brilliant novelist that Maze of Amin, okay? Howard joined the Faculty of School of the Arts in Columbia University in 1993, okay? She had previously been an instructor of Columbia Schools of General Studies in the 1980s. She then began to write the Korean books, inspired by the Four Seasons, Robbers and Amlick in 1998, Silver Screen in 2004, The Ranch of Time in 2009, and The Ranch of Time in 2009. The collection of novellas called Big as Life and Three Tales of Spring in 2001. 2010, reflecting all of the books as a great sequence book novel, in 4 parts. The critic Sylvia Lear, writing New Public, brings them in a beautifully intricate wall. Those real subjects of Ardwick Avenue itself. Other reviews was mixed. Writing New York Review of books, Caroline Fraser criticized the quotes, almost cartoonish treatment with characters, which she would believe resulted in the books to be gradually experimental in form. The New Yorker found The Rage of Time to be lacking its subsequence. Wow. While Publishers Weekly thought this of characters in Secret Silver Screen were development. Wow. Reviewing Big of Life as Life was an American Monthly. Robert Potts, okay, argued that Howard's style can sometimes be I can't pronounce this word, sorry, for his own good, okay? Too much for his own good, okay? Both just found the book to be full of subway of grace. Reviewing the Rage of Times in New York Times, the author Grace Rowe admires that Howard's right. No one's writing English today produced anything quite like her sentence. And extremely abilities in her quartet, okay? Her family, okay? Her brother, George Kearns, died in 2010, was a professor of literature who authored 2 books, okay? Of Ursula's Pound, okay? He was a professor emeritus of Rutgers University. Howard's daughter, Roger Howard, owns an art gallery in New York City. She died last Sunday in Manhattan. She was 91 years old. My next step topic has to say Maisel, okay? He was a mayor, 53rd, as I meant to be called out to be that time, in Atlanta, okay? From 1970 to 1974, okay? He was best known as the American businessman and politician who served from 1970 to 1974 as the 53rd mayor of Atlanta, Georgia, which I've been to multiple times. He was the 5th Jewish mayor in the city's history and was the most recent non-black mayor of Atlanta. He was born in the Samuel A. Maisel from 1892 to 1961 in the former Florence Reuben. In 1901, the same year Walt Disney was born, to 1937. In 1927, he was known as Bobby. during his childhood and his high school years. He graduated from Florida High School, Hills High School, excuse me, I misspoke anyway, at the age of 16. He enrolled in the University of Georgia at Athens, where he was a member of the Pi Kappa Liberty Society. He was also president of Pi Fraternity. Maselwave transferred to Harvard University before being drafted in the United States Army Air Force in 1946. Wow. Later returned to the University of Georgia and took night classes and earned his bachelor's degree in commercial science from Atlanta Division of the University of Georgia in 1951. He received an LL.B. degree in 1949 from Atlanta Law School. Wow. He was married to his former Doris Mel Brooks from 1952 until his death in 2015. Business career, okay? A long-time Atlanta resident, Maisel has had successful careers in real estate brokerage, okay? Elected office, tourism, and association management. For 20 years, Maisel as a realtor has become a vice president of Allen Grayson Realty Company, then one of the largest commercial brokerage and film firms in Atlanta. During that time, he led the chair member of the $1 Million Club and Atlanta Real Estate Board, okay? He's a further honored on the three editions of Georgia Association of Real Estate Boards for the outstanding tradition of the year. Political career. While in real estate, makes more sense. Anyway, he also became active in this wide range of civic work, okay? He eventually led to a presidential arena, okay? He served 22 years in elected office, first as a city councilman in the town of Mountain Park, okay? Which he owned the takeouts. Then he went to serving in Atlanta City elected community, okay? Then ran for served 8 years as president of Atlanta's Board of Aldermen. Now as Atlanta City Council, okay? He ran for mayor of Atlanta from 1969, the same year Sesame Street came out and ran the race in the runoff. Mayor Maisel was also the president of 15,000-member National League of Cities. In addition, he serves a 4-year term on the board of Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transport Authority. He was a board member of the Atlanta Committee for the Olympic Games. Okay? Among other achievements, this medical administration is credited with having establishment Population Atlanta Rapid Transport Authority, the Coalition, the first enclosed area in Atlanta, in Woodruff Park in Central City, all without higher and lower taxes. He's also pioneered monetary opportunities in city government, a point at which the first woman that in the Atlanta City Council and the first of African Americans as modules department heads. Okay, Congressman Massels is also known to have used bachelor's anti-black measure. Okay, it's a re-election bid for the mayors against the city's first black mayor candidate, Mayor Jackson. Okay, as a result, many progressive and college executive educated whites in the city, including Atlanta's largest daily newspaper, publicly endorsed Jackson while lead Mike Mason losing his re-election bid in 1973 to Maynard Jackson. Okay. Later in life, after leaving full-time public service, Mason earned the tourism business in Buckhead in the Atlanta metro area for 13 years. Mason operated in Buckhead, okay, under the name Your Travel Against Sam Mason, okay. It was a certified travel counselor and the former president of the Travel Industry Association of Georgia. Wow. He later managed a non-profit civic organization and is founding president of the Buckhead Coalition as an association of business executive of the North Side of Atlanta. Initially, it was an Atlanta convention of Scissors Barbu Hospitality Hall of Fame, International Skiing Center for Nonviolent Social Change Walk of Fame, Georgia State University Robinson College Business Hall of Fame, Georgia Trend Magazine Most Official Georgians Hall of Fame, and Georgia Monthly Association Government Hall of Fame. In 1971, he received an honorary degree in Doctors of Law from Oxford University. In 2016, the 89-year-old Maisel wed his longtime friend Sandra Gorey in the private ceremony in Buckhead. Charles McNair was 304-page biography of Maisel entitled "Pay Again." The notable wife of St. Maisel, Atlanta's first mandatory mayor, which was published by Mercer University's Press on September 1st, 2017. In early 2020, which, by the way, is really sad, by the way, Maisel announced his plans to retire. He died on March 13th, 2022, which is last Sunday. He was 94 years old. I got 2 more topics to read, and that's it, and I'll be done. Anyway, Brent Bernard. Anyway, he was an American journalist. It was best known as Brent Anthony Bernard, okay? It was a journalist, documentary filmmaker, and photojournalist. He was working with his brother Craig to produce their films and for outlets such as HBO, Vice News. Was a former counselor at the New York Times. According to Ukrainian officials, he was killed last Sunday by Russian soldiers. Wow, okay. While covering the Russian invasions of Ukraine at Austrian City in near Kharkiv, okay. He was born on October 2nd, 1971 in Nabas, Tennessee, and raised in Wilcox, Arkansas. His mother, Georgian Fraser, was a social worker, and his father, Louis Bernard, was a salesman. Anyway, he earned a bachelor's degree in English literature with Southern Washington University, okay? With a master's degree in sociology at Columbia University, okay? He lived and worked in the Little Rock in New York City, collaboration with his brother Craig, okay? Brent Bernard produced a series of films and television programs, mostly focused on humoristic stories for the world's hot spots. From 2004 to 2005, Bernard Brothers filmed the Discovery Channel series Off to War. It covers Arkansas, describing this hard conflict in families. Wow, okay. The brothers also cover the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, the 2010 earthquake in Haiti, the political crisis in Egypt and Libya, conflict in Africa, Mexican drug war, and the refugee crisis in Central America. They won several wars in television journalism, including the Pre-Body War in 2015 for two video series Last Chance High. The brothers has directed the documentary Web Storm, released in 2017 by HBO Documentary Films. In 2019, he was appointed the visiting professor at the University of Arkansas. He was a 2019 Martin Fellow. Together with his brother, he was granting the Prosper Center. They also founded the Little Rock Film Festival. Wow. According to Ukrainian officials, he was shot and killed by Russian soldiers in Ukraine while covering the 22 Russian invasion of Ukraine. 2 other journalists were injured and taken to hospital. One of them, Joel Andriado, later said in a video published by Italian journalists on Twitter that a group of journalists were filming jets advancing through one of the bridge in European, where they were targeted by soldiers who shot right in the neck. It was reported death in the French journalist in the 22 war in Ukraine. He was 50 years old. And now, I'm saving this one for last. It's for you, Billy. I'm not going to talk about the professional wrestling career. I'm going to talk about his personal life and death. And the birth. And that would be basically it. Anyway, Scott Hall will be my last one. Anyway, Scott Albert Hall was an American professional wrestler. Go ahead. Anyway, he was best known for the potentials of WWF, WWE, now owned as. Anyway, under the name Razor Barman. He already talked about professional wrestling career. I'm not going to say about it. But I promise I'm not going to talk about it in TheCrazyBunch's WebShow, but I'll explain more in the tributes video. But anyway, okay. But in the World Championship Wrestling, WCW, under his real name, okay? Hall began his career in 1984. Excuse me, anyway. Before rising to promotion after signing with the WWF in May 1992. Most of the name Razor Ramon, okay? While with the company, he has won the WWF International Championship 4 times, okay? He departed the company in May 1996 and successfully signed with the Rebel Productions, WCW, when he became the founding member of the New World Order, NOW for short, faction, along with Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash, okay? In the company, he became a 2-time WCW, United States Heavyweight Championship, okay? 1-time WCW World Television Champion, okay? A 9-time WCW World Tag Team Champion. He left WCW in February 2000, excuse me, misspoke, anyway. And returned to WWF, later renamed WWE for a brief stint in 2002. Lesnar spent the rest of his career wrestling for various promotions such as CW, now Extreme Championship Wrestling for short. Anyway, New Japan World Pro Wrestling, NJPW for short, and Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling, TNA for short. Anyway, we held the TNA World Tag Team Championship once with Kevin Nash and Eric Young. Anyway, although he never won a world championship, he was the world major promotions. Hall was nevertheless a 1-time world champion, okay? He held the WWC Universal Heavyweight Championship. He's inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame in Singles and Tuber in 2014 and against a member of WNO in 2020. He was born in St. Mary's, County, Maryland on October 20th, 1958. He grew up in military brat. Attended high school in Munich, Germany. And moved in once every year when he was 15, before he was 15. I'm not going to read, I'm not going to read his professional wrestling career. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it in the tributes video on my main channel, so be looking out for it. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about legal issues either, so let's just talk about his personal life and death. That'll be it. Anyway, Hall married Dinah Lee Bargo in 1990. They divorced in 1998 due to Hall's drug use. Excuse me. They were married in 1999, divorced again in 2001. They had a son named Cody in 1991, who was also becoming a wrestler. Wow. And a daughter named Cassie, born in the year I was born, 1995. Hall was married to his second wife, Jessica Hart, in 2006. They divorced in 2007. Hall's problem with drugs and alcohol was made due to the fact that it was made probably in the late 1990s. Okay? It was incorporated the conventional WCW storyline. When the storyline was probably out, okay, Hall was legally arrested for keying. Okay, that's too much. Anyway, womanizing and while gesturing outside the nightclub in the Orlando, Florida, causing $2,000 damages. Wow. Anyway, after his release in TNA in 2010, Hall was checked with a rehab to pay for WWE. Anyway, Hall checked out for the rehab community in early October 2010. Weeks after he checked into rehab, Hall had both a defibrillator, and the pacemaker implanted in his chest. He was hospitalized twice in 2010 for double pneumonia. Wow. During this time, okay, Hall stated that started having seizures and was having diagnosed with embology. Wow. We saw him that required that take 11 different medications on a daily basis to treat him heart and seizure problems. On April 6, 2011, Hall reportedly taken his hospital due to seizure problems. Okay. Hall representative Gina Addick said Hall was in the hospital that night to be treated for extremely low blood pressure. Wow. And that Hall visited his doctor on a regular basis for blood work, checkups. Anyway, while recovering the double pneumonia, 3 days later, TMZ reported that Hall has been taken to the hospital, treated for chronic issues, and remained in the hospital 3 days, according to medical reports. Okay, Hall was being treated to overdosing by both hobbits and dogs and nasebees. Having now this word. Sorry. Longtime friend Kevin Nash claims Hall's substance abuse stemmed from stress disorder. Anyway, in October 2011, ESPN's E60 featured a documentary detailing Hall's experience with drugs and alcohol, and included interviews with several of Hall's family members, including his ex-wife and son, Cody, and several prominent figures and close friends from the wrestling industry, such as Hogan, Nash, Wallman, Buskov, and Stephanie McClain. Okay, in early 2015, former professional wrestler Dallas Page invited Hall to his home in order for Hall to stay sober and rebuild his life from the ground up, physically, mentally, professionally, and spiritually. Page was made the fundraising drive was raised over nearly $110,000, $30,000 over the $180,000 goal. Wow! To pay his hip replacement surgery and daily work for Hall. On March 2022, Hall was hospitalized with a broken hip. Wow. He was always a burden on the floor for days before being discovered during the wellness check brought by Dallas Page when went to the hospital. After Hall underwent hip replacement surgery, blood was discharged, resulting in Hall suffering 3 heart attacks on March 12th, which was early this week. After which he's put in life support at WellScare Hospital, Marysville, Georgia, which is my home state, by the way. He was taken off the life support on last Monday. And WWE announced his death later in that day's Raw episode of the tribute video. 4 days after Hall's death, Shine Waltman revealed that the Wrestling Operative newsletter that Hall relapsed back into alcohol abuse and the COVID-19 pandemic resulting in lockdowns, rendering him unable to social interactions. And at one point, he would drop weight down to 210 pounds, 995 kilograms, with the usual 287 pounds, 130 kilograms. Woman's also revealed that Hall was in partly bad shape that night during before the 2021 Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And that had been offered to move to one Hall in February 2022 to help with his health issues. Wow. Page has also returned to help with Hall's alcoholism. I'm going to go ahead and say the moment of silence reflection regards to all 13 of them right now. Thank you. Rest in peace to all of you 13. I'll talk about Scott Hall in another tribute video on my main channel, so be on the lookout for those. And, yeah. And that will end. Before we go, I talked about this earlier this episode, but there won't be the Crazy Bunch's web show episode today. Next week, excuse me. But there will be one in 2 weeks. So be a lookout for that. And, yeah. And that will be this episode 58. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one. It's going to be episode 59, which I'll be coming back for you guys from vacation at Spoffin, South Carolina. Until next time, this is Lou Jefferson. Bye, peace out, baby. We'll get more episodes, guys, pretty soon. Until then, just out. See ya.